into college, or are we allowed to explore after joining? So have you been to the administrative interface of when you're like applying at ITC? Because when you do, you must have seen
So
that.
no, I think that what they're asking is, do we need a hard research proposal, right? So I don't think so.
Submit
You submit a simple one. You get to explore. You get to refine.
Yeah.
In some cases, you can change directions completely as well. Usually in the similar domain, but yeah, you can improve and evolve the
Yeah,
research.
so you have to write a 500-word research proposal, which is honestly nothing for a solid research proposal. So you have to have that for now and use that to apply, and that will take you into shortlisting for further rounds.
But the one that you write during the application process, you usually can change a lot. So, for example, the scope for new course we changed a lot. Same. I think for all of us, it changed a lot.
Yeah,
That one was just like a very preliminary thing that you talk about in the interviews, basically.
exactly.
To showcase your interest in that domain.
Yeah, your
What you
interest
know
in
about
whatever
it.
pre-existing research aptitude you have.
Yeah.
And how you like maybe approach the said topic. Yes.
I have a question. How can I build 500 words to research proposal? Like, is there any step by step?
We wish. But okay, so what topics? The 10 topics that are there.
Thinking of
So I mean,
So I'm also interested in trading, sorry, financial trading.
Okay.
So I'm like thinking between this.
Okay, usable security and development and use of extra financial.
so I mean, I think Krishna, you can ask. Like,
Okay, so I don't have a correct answer for it, but there are a lot. And you have also attended the webinar. Just go to pages or Google Scholars book and read some papers. You will understand the method he is following. Okay, because here's it, as a student, you might not know all the methods which are being followed. Like I never knew about thematic analysis before coming to IDs. So all of that, you will understand after reading the research papers thoroughly. The methodology section of it, correct? The methodology section of every research paper will help you to curate your methods, which you can choose. And why are you choosing? You also that so you can go through the papers methodology section that will help you to structure your research.
But how can
Like combine it into 5%.
again, iterations and iterations.
Yeah.
You write, you make someone else read, you ask them what they think of it, write again, do that process again.
Yeah, I think my first draft was like 1,500 words or something when I like was writing drafts, and by like the third or fourth time, I just removed redundancies, kept what's just totally important. Like now you have to make a lot of decisions here. What do you think for your topics? What's important? What do you want to highlight?
What I removed the most was me elaborating on certain stuff, which I thought is important. Then I read to the papers and then I realized no, they know more than me. I should not repeat that in my research. So that cut it short.
Yeah.
I also want like your personal experience related to written test.
Written test.
Yeah.
Written test.
Written test was very fun. As I said, I read through all the recommended papers that was there in the topics list, and the questions was recommended papers for my topic at least. So when I just saw the questions, I was like, wait, I have read about it. I just have to add my ideas or my interpretation of what I think the paper said, what this question is asking for. So it's more of a commentary and an essay about your reaction to it. So it's fun. You have your freedom. So be creative. Think broadly. The more you have read, the better you can, I guess, write them.
I think that's a very good tip in general too. When you're reading something, you also should be reflecting on it, like how you understood and what are your thoughts on it, how you would explain it to someone else.
Yeah.
That will also help you identify your problem, gaps, all of those things. कि कहाँ पे what's missing.
Okay.
Okay, one more thing, so this happened with, the game design people. There are two topics floated for game design and both have different papers mostly attached to it. Please read both of the topic papers for the written test. So, because they sometimes mix and merge both the topics
Yeah.
in the written
Same
test.
would be the case for like VR and I mean, I would say if you're reading the papers and if you have time, go in the references of that paper as well and try. At least you might not do a detailed study of those papers. You can do a surface level study of those papers and get an idea about the field more.
Can I ask you one thing, like, you all guys have good ranks in C, okay, so like, why do you choose, MDes by research instead of MDes?
We have that question actually coming up. Where does it?
It's okay. And yeah, that
answer it
doesn't.
now.
Oh, yeah. I think we can answer it right now. Saurabh. Um,
ठीक है. What was the question?
So why did
Why
we choose
did you-
MDes by research and not the other MDes programs after CDes?
So, for me personally, like I was working, I don't know if you guys know, there's a studio called Frog, Frog Design, yeah. So I was working there as a visual designer for a year. That's where I got introduced into research as well. But while working as visual and interaction designer, I sort of started realizing that people are just making the same thing again and again. In just different ways. There's no new UX patterns or anything that I was working on, and I could see myself getting bored with it in some time.
Right.
So I wanted to do something where I can experiment a little more and find new things in a field which is a little more interesting to me.
I think that is true from my side as well. Because working in an industry which is still moving in India, we find an industry. And being versed to what cities like London who have exploited the full this thing. But now we are moving towards something which is totally digital.
Yeah, but
But in India, it's like still at we're still in the loop of doing what has been executed and everything. We don't have proper strategies. We don't have proper, things to follow, a process to follow, process to follow. Because what happens that we take some things, directly from the Western culture and try to implement here, which totally lacks a lot of research in terms of Indian context. And as a designer who wants to work in India and who wants to contribute to India, they have to do some research or they should get into research if they want to achieve something big in that particular industry.
yeah, but
It's
I have seen, interaction design student and communication design student, they also have their own research papers, like.
Yeah, for sure.
So then why do you?
I think. MDes by research is a course designed to give you a flavor of what research will look like. So if you have not done research properly, like in your bachelor's, and you are not sure if you want to take a PhD, because PhD is a bigger commitment, right? You want to explore research, and that's why research is like the sweet spot. Also, while doing BDes, since we all come from BDes background, when deciding that I wanted to do MDes, my biggest fear was repetition here. I want to repeat what I had already done in MDes because design fundamentals remain same. Okay, so you can only do more projects on it, but after a point, it will become repetitive. So while working, I realized there are certain points which are not explored or which are not thought through enough. And then I was looking for a course which would bridge me into researching of those aspects to produce groundbreaking knowledge from where new kinds of experiments and interventions can emerge rather than simply following what is being done outside and implemented.
Also, just a disclaimer, you don't have to do groundbreaking right away. It takes time. I know we all come here thinking that, oh my God, I'm gonna touch it, it's gonna turn to gold. It's not. It's gonna take your time and it's totally fine. That's the path of a
Most
researcher.
research is not groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Most of the time, most of the research you will do is not groundbreaking.
Yes.
It gives you a push. That's
Correct.
what.
And it teaches you
Yeah.
like what you have to do going forward.
You wouldn't be the
Start.
next Don Norman.
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
most
right.
cases, or Dixon.
Yeah.
You have to give yourself the time. As I think you come here and you are, like तुम्हारा H citation, H index is like so high. Everyone's cited, they're citing your papers. Nothing of that happens. But you learn research more than anything, and you take a topic, you take a niche. You're truly very
Also, the
interested
course
in.
gives you a lot of flexibility, right?
Oh,
You
yeah,
can pick
that's-
up the courses that you find interesting from
Yeah.
any domain. You have enough time for your own experimentation, which I think, when you're in your bachelor's and even in your MDes, you're always, we always think, yeah, this project we get very less time. Thoda और time मिल जाता, we could have done it better.
That's so true. Like modules are 2 to 3 weeks long. It may be a little more structured and you may not have that air,
The
breathing.
first thing that comes to your mind, you do.
Exactly. But if you take up a design research project here, it will take that time and freedom, I guess. Okay, Pratiksha, yeah. Is there something in particular you want to ask, Pratiksha?
Yeah. Hi. Hi, everyone. So thank you. First of all, thank you for conducting this session. It is really helpful. Um,
Donna,
yeah,
please.
yeah, I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you're audible.
Yeah. So I wanted to, like, the question is little long, so I raised my hand. My background is textile design. I have done my graduation from NIFT Hyderabad. So during my internships, I have worked in the like during my internships, I worked in like recycling plastics, and in Pune there is this brand who works with recycling of plastic, sorry, upcycling of plastic, and then they weave it into bags. So in my internships, I have done that. In my GP, I was selected for under Ministry of Textiles, the project, government sponsored project for the handicraft section because I was really interested in working in handicrafts. So that's the background I have worked in. So from there, I've picked up that somewhere I have interest towards sustainability. So while I read these topics, these 10, 12 topics, research topics, so I chose one topic which was like developing tactile and visual CMS strategies for inclusive design. So I wanted to ask, like, does this topic give me a scope of working towards sustainability because I want to move towards product design? And also, there are two self initiated projects in my portfolio, which one is like for the disabled people. I have developed socks kind of for bathroom, like the chances where disabled people are prone to bathroom slips is more. So I have developed a socks kind of thing for them. And the second is textiles related, recycling of textiles related a project, close to a self-initiated project in my portfolio. And I am interested in tangible space, working in tangible space. So how does this course or this MDes by research give me a scope of working?
Sora, I think can't even.
Can you ask Tejas sir to mute him?
Yeah, I think he just said that. Okay, thank you so much, Pratiksha. I'm from NIFT Hyderabad too. I'm probably like a super senior. I don't know which year you are in, or if you are my senior. I don't know.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I have passed out in 2022.
2020?
22.
Oh, you are my senior. Okay. So I think Soumya would be a better person to talk about this. She's from NIFT Kolkata and she has worked in, like, I think, touched some
Yeah.
aspects of what you have.
Hi, Pratiksha. So I also did my GP in the ministry affiliated GP. So your question is about the topic that you're selecting. Will that topic allow you to explore the aspects of sustainability or what you've mentioned? I would request you to go through the brief of the topic again and try to read the literature attached with that topic. That will give you an understanding of what kind of work they are expecting. Okay, because so how these topics are floated is the faculties here or people who are doing PhD here already have built in some infra for research of that topic to happen. So it would be important for you to read the paper, the kind of work that has happened already to understand the infra available for that topic and if it can fit what you are trying to envision or not. So we cannot answer if your topic will allow that scope because you have to read that about your topic. And second question was regarding portfolio. So whatever work you have done, you show it in your portfolio. Try to emphasize on how you have conducted research or how you think because that is important. The way you think or make design decisions for your project. If you are able to present it well, I think you can put any work that you have done in your portfolio and it should be fine.
Okay, I hope that answers your question. Then we move forward.
Actually, for the portfolio also, like at least in my interview, there were the questions. Yes, there were questions related to my portfolio, which were like one or two. But apart from that, there was a genuine discussion about my interest, about like I had changed my topic. So first it was game design. So my genuine interest about games and which games I've played before coming to IDC and all of that. So that just your like does your overall experience in life helps you with this research or not? That also can be a discussion in your interview, not necessarily just your portfolio.
Also, thank you, Saurabh, for muting yourself. We really appreciate it. But okay, I think we have to kind of keep going because there are really
Just go
questions.
through some
about-
questions which are
Okay, what opportunities may like MDes by research students go after? What do students typically go for? Acha. What are the opportunities?
we are also still figuring those things out, but
Yeah. We are the first batch again, so we cannot.
MDes by research as a course allows you to explore multiple options. You can try and get internships and get placed through the placement system that works in IIT Bombay, or the guide that you're researching with, you can like have a communication with your guide and they can suggest you where you can fit in the industry, or you can apply through them. You can apply through your portfolio that you build while doing your research projects, project 1, project 2. The papers that you are able to publish probably by the end of can also open up possibilities of working as a researcher under established researchers. You can go for PhD from MDes by research. You can go for professions like education.
Researcher.
Yeah.
Education and
And yeah, in the industry, especially like in HCI domain, you have UX researcher roles, or even in a lot of big tech companies have their own R&D sections. So you can join them as a research scientist, maybe not sure yet. At least I think you can join as a research fellow because we have had one BDes student who had joined Microsoft Research as a research fellow. It's a 1 year or 2 year fellowship and internship of sorts. So you can join and like prepare yourself for a PhD later. So it depends on basically what your plans are after it. Nobody's gonna stop
You can join industry, you can go for a PhD, you can also join academic institutes.
you can start something of your own.
Yeah, the best thing. You can start.
Also, if you don't even have to decide it. If you want to explore, because we also have full freedom. We want to do an academic internship. We want to do an internship in a firm, in a company, in an MNC. It's all up to you. You want to explore. You want to do both. You want to see how I would fit in corporate, and again, you also want to see if I can fit into in academic culture, working with some professor on some research, do both the internship, see what fits, and take a decision. So you have the entire liberty to explore first, even just take a 2 month internship, 3 month internship, see what's out there, with both the fields even, and just make a decision after that.
So the flexibility is a lot.
Yeah.
More is one.
The sky is not the limit, okay, and you also will have the whole infrastructure support from IIT Bombay itself. You have your professors to help you with everything you need. So just like wish and work for it. Yes, yeah, you.
And it's a exchange program.
Yes,
So
there
oh,
is.
yeah, there is.
Yeah, there are plenty of exchange programs that you can apply for
Yeah.
in either of, I think after the first 2 semesters, you can apply in both the semesters.
I think
Or
there's NP
how-
Singapore. Oh, sorry.
One
One semester
One
exchange.
semester.
Yeah, one semester exchange. There are many colleges, really amazing ones, so it's up to you.
You can find the list of colleges that IIT Bombay has an MOU with.
Okay.
And even if not that, if you can get a professor in any college you want,
Okay.
usually they'll be able to make arrangements for you.
Anyone if you are planning to.
Sort of.
For a semester exchange.
Not sure yet, sort of, probably.
Also, one thing which I don't know if normal MDes allows you or not, but MDes by research does, which is you can go for summer internships if you want, or you can choose to finish your thesis early, which is like 1.5 years. And then the last semester, you can go for a 6 months long internship. So that we need to plan just after coming to IDC. But yes, that's also an option which is open. If you want to do a 6 month long internship in a academic institute or in the industry, it's open. If you can.
I mean, you can finish your thesis as fast as you
Yes.
can, technically, if you're doing a good job.
1.5
focused
years, you
job.
can be done with it,
Yeah.
I believe.
Okay, next question. Huh.
Just go through the questions.
There's this deep question. Ishika, do you want to take it up?
So it's a very topic.
Yeah.
Is there a topic they're asking?
Are there topics on implementing gamification?
Gamification in real world. So I think among the two topics, the first one is about game and non-game contexts. So that is very much about gamification. Also, if you if you are interested in that, you can read Sandeep Sir's work. It is very much about learning in like gamifying learning, and where games teach about production and provide early experiences. So yeah, there's a lot of work already out there on this topic, and the first topic I believe will allow you to do something related to implementing gamification in real world applications. So I think in the list of papers there are papers by Sandeep Pathavale sir, so you can just go through them, read them, and yeah, that the first topic is the one that will allow you to work on this.
Okay, so the next question is, how should I curate my portfolio for the interview? What key areas should I focus on, and how much time will be allotted for the portfolio review? So I think the time depends on the kind of panel you get according to your topic. So I
Minimum
think
20
average, yeah,
20 to
15
40.
to 20 minutes for the portfolio part, and the rest, yeah, for your
Discussions.
research and other discussions, yeah. They'll also get to know you, right, through your project. So I think key areas will depend on the kind of project you have again, because
Yeah, I think we've covered.
yeah, we've covered all that. Don't templatize it. Understand what's important. Showcase that. Showcase your character as well while you're going through it. And I guess, yeah, that should be fine.
Also, if I can add, I think you would want to emphasize more on your proposal, why you want to do research, and what you already know. If you read things about, because as far as my experience goes for the interview, my portfolio was not even open. So they didn't care about my projects and all, because they cared more about what I want to do and how I want to go ahead with that. And like, why am I in research? And if I know what I'm signing up for, if I am interested in that, I'm passionate enough for it. So portfolio, add your best projects. And if you have something related to your topic, of course, add it. But it's more on if you are able to translate it into your understanding of why you want to do research, why you want to do research in this specific topic. Otherwise, like adding just more stuff to your portfolio wouldn't really be of interest to anyone. So yeah.
I think 3 to 4 projects is a very good number.
Solid projects that you know the in and outs. You can answer why you did what you did. I think,
Yeah, and like she said, do not templatize it.
yeah.
Double diamond.
Double
cross.
What else?
Oh,
No, not templatize. Don't templatize.
Yes, so it more like this na, कि अच्छा problem statement, अच्छा ideation, this and this,
So
and then every project.
user journey बस है. Why it is there? It is just there.
What is it adding to the project?
Personas बस बना दिए हैं. क्यों बनाए हैं? No one knows. So if you don't know the reasons behind what you're doing, don't put it just for the sake of putting that thing in. Be very to the process you've actually followed, like things that have helped you.
And
in
every
coming
project, your problem statement will require a different kind of process, right? So you have to show that. Because bachelor's it's okay. But when you're getting into masters, they expect that you have that kind of
and they will grill
understanding.
you on those things, like
Yeah.
they will question कि क्यों किया है.
Ah. Okay, so what is the coursework versus research work ratio like? Okay,
70 to 30 is the said thing.
it's a said, but it depends again on your topic
In
as
reality, it's probably 50-50.
50-50.
Till now, but the next
Up to
year.
next year,
will be yeah, next. So we're, I think we could, हम सबके courses खत्म हो गए, right?
The credits खत्म हो गए, but you can still like
Yeah, you
take
can
some.
still take courses.
So we have some electives. So I think for the first year, you have design research projects. You don't really get into the thesis yet. So you have a lot more coursework in the first year. But when you have already developed your research aptitude and you have developed some background for what you're going to do for your thesis, then the coursework percentage is a little lower than 50% depending on your requirements. But yeah, first year, I think most of
And I guess you want it to be that way. Like, I guess in my thesis, I want to allot time to it. I don't want
Yeah.
to be indulged in coursework only because then that takes my efforts in that direction.
I have one question.
Yeah.
So, so with every process, like when days, you have to BFA and all, so there is a pros and there is a cons. So, for unless there are so many cons and pros, okay, but like, what learned, unless by research.
What do you want to know? The pros?
The pros or the cons?
Okay, go on.
I mean, like, problems, like issues, like.
I would say the biggest thing, because you are driving a lot of things on your own. So being on track, keep trying to keep yourself motivated is one thing.
Yeah.
Second, because we don't have enough courses, so you might need to indulge yourself in a lot more activities. I mean, that's for me at least, because I like to be involved in things. So because you don't have enough courses, so you're not sitting with classmates or all the time.
And if you're an introvert like me, you'd love that. You're like, oh my God, time with my own system. Don't have to talk to people.
In terms of overall, like, job opportunities and like.
So we can't talk about job opportunities.
Yeah, we're
Because
still
none of us
exploring,
have
like she
placed.
said.
I have decided.
Doing,
Yet.
So the objective of MDes by research being launched as a course, we did not need it, right? There was an MDes happening for people who want to switch over. So MDes by research was launched to create thought leaders in Indian design industry because it's high time and we need it. Right, as I mentioned that things are just being followed and ideas are being implemented here. So there was a time where there is a community of design researchers of India so strong that we like create a culture of our own because we can, right? So the objective of this course is not really to just land you a job. Of course, if you do MDes and if you are in a academic scenario, you graduate from there and you can look for jobs. But the idea here is to introduce you to projects and provide you the infrastructure where you can create something, new knowledge of your own, which can be used to develop the Indian design industry.
I think it's about educators. Now, we don't have a lot of design educators in India.
Correct. So,
And you don't have to
you
end up
don't-
educated.
Yeah, you don't have to
But
be.
don't have to be, but what happens
You
is
can still-
most of the design fraternity goes into, earning money.
You can still be in the industry and be a thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, this is another con which I may feel may come up is like matching experience, like expectations with the program. Because I feel like when a lot of like when us we all came here, we probably had some expectations of what the program may look like. So at least we would want that all of you know that academic research is very different to what UX research is like. It's a very different thing. You have to learn different things. The methodology changes in a lot of ways. It's more rigorous. It requires a certain kind of robustness from you. So understanding the reality of what that will require from you is important. Because you both think, yeah, I know UX research and it's gonna be fun.
I would like to answer through this first of all. Motivate you develop that consistency, you develop that rigor, and you develop the skill of articulation. One, people here in IDC are fun, you will see them roaming around, be happy. हम इधर research paper के साथ पढ़ रहे हैं. So that is the point. So कौन है? बहुत पढ़ना पड़ता है. You should be ready for reading and thorough reading, not just half पढ़ना. 3 passes of every paper, that is what you have to get into at Harvard. So that is important, and that is also a con if you don't like reading. So you
I mean, if you don't like reading, then
I think the pro and cons depend on your strengths and what you enjoy at the end of the day. If you enjoy this is gonna be so fun for you. And especially I like that I'm being challenged to write better because we all think, oh, we know English so well. Until we come here and start to write a paper, we
You don't
realize,
just come here to do research, you also learn how to do research, so.
yeah, it's so nice. Okay, then I'll be closing this Q&A forum. So if you want to post anything, please post right away because I'll be closing it right away. So,
Because we
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
already have a lot of very shows.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, wait, I think I can still exist. It's. Did they just go away? Yeah. Okay. I think we'll just use this for now, right? Because the other one is closed. Okay, so is there any applied design in STEM happening now, or is the college planning for it in the future?
It's Megha's research around cochlear implants that is very STEM related. So, but she's a PhD. But yeah, that is happening in IDC. So I think you might want to read her work or even get in touch with her. But MDes by research, I'm not sure among us if anyone is working in STEM related something.
Okay,
even, I guess textbook studies are very engineering oriented, right? You have to make stuff.
well, yes,
Make stuff
If you
like,
want to
we
go-
are also, you have to make stuff, but I wouldn't call
Yeah.
it STEM exactly.
yeah, it depends on what part are you more interested in.
And what
Yeah.
you mean by STEM, you're like, I don't understand.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very like larger word. Yeah, if you want to add anything to it, please let us know later. Okay, so what is the scope after you finish the degree? I think we have covered it already. Can we contact the respective faculty members if we have identified? Please,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
we
they
can.
would love it if you reach out to them.
Also, if you're reading their papers and want to know
Visible
something,
everywhere.
read them. They
Yeah.
respond to emails.
Very quickly they
Yes.
respond. I think all the faculties do.
So anything, please reach out to them and show interest. I think they are gonna really enjoy talking to someone.
Don't send a very bland email.
Yeah. That's
There's
good.
no context.
Or maybe like get to the point a little early as well. Yeah. So okay, how will the MDes by research program address research ethics and integrity? And how can we effectively minimize bias in our work?
Very heavy question.
Theoretical perspectives in design. Entire course.
What?
For you to understand biases, understand theory in design research itself, design and design research. So there is entire one course. Plus, when you take qualitative research methods, quantitative research methods, entire lectures are dedicated to, the ethics part of you, how to even write the ethics proposal, how you should be ethical during conducting any research, any part of your study, everything. They tell you exactly how to be ethical and maintain integrity in your work, maintain rigor in your work, and yeah, minimizing biases. First of all, your guides will always be there to nudge you in the right direction anytime you're going somewhere else. And apart from that, there are in the courses, it's very prominently told that how to, maintain your integrity in your work and minimizing biases. Unless first you have to understand your biases to minimize them. So the entire TBD course, which is mandatory for all MDes by research uh, people. So we took that course, and that is all about understanding theories and social biases, personal biases. So as far as you understand that, that is only the way to go ahead and minimize them in your work. Plus, we will also learn how to position yourself, your perspectives while you're working on your study. So it's not supposed to be completely free of value, or you just have to be open about. So there's an entire thing that will help you understand how to come forth with your biases, how to be very transparent with everything that is how you work on your research, your processes, your viewpoints, your perspectives. So, but first you just understand them, and then when you acknowledge them, you are able to minimize them and be more transparent. And yeah, you're able to articulate it better in your research, in your works, so that it becomes more substantial, basically. So yeah.
And this is not an MDes by research thing only. All like design students, master's design students go through these courses, so they can understand. Like only IHT oh, only IHT only.
And some CD people.
Some I, many I do something.
IHT all I think.
I do, I don't.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want, you can get by it, but yeah, we have courses to
Help you with this.
yeah.
And guide will help you with your ethics a lot.
And also like how you shape your biases will also be shaped by your guides'
Yes.
biases. And the position that they hold, their paradigm and everything.
Okay, next question is what is the selection process of research subjects? I mean, you mean coursework? I hope so. Like how do you select coursework with your guide, right? So if that's your question, I mean, you'll have, again, depending on your topic, your guide, your interest, your plan into what
You haven't done so far, what
Yeah.
you have already done.
yeah, what's the gap you want to fill and all of that. So you have to sit with them and
What
decide.
is that available?
Yeah. There are a lot available. I mean, good. Okay, and is the guide supposed to be only from design?
Yeah, the guide is decided already.
Pre-decided.
Pre-decided. And yeah, we have RPC even they are pre-decided. But I think we may get some external support if we want later, right?
If your topic requires.
If your topic requires.
Like cochlear implants, they need some.
Yeah. Exactly. Can a research topic from a master's in research be expanded into a PhD project?
Yes.
Okay, so before we say also yes, this is under a process right now. This hasn't been approved yet. But our course coordinator, AJ sir, Anirudh Joshi sir, has been trying very hard so that MDes by research people can continue into a dual degree program, which then becomes a PhD. So yeah, like hypothetically, you should be able to expand your PhD project. I mean, ask later, like after December this year, maybe we'll know better.
But I think,
It should happen.
It should happen, yeah. It definitely should happen. Is MDes by research almost no. A PhD is a long program. This is a master's. This is a master's by design. There can be two types.
Gives you a flavor of research,
Yeah.
as Sonia said. At the
Exactly.
end, it's still a master's degree.
Yeah, it's still a master's degree. It's just the way you're doing it is different.
But
Other people are taking only courses.
But if you are having plans of doing further research, if you have a plan of doing PhD, then MDes by research is going to be preferred over MDes. Also, if you apply for PhDs in countries outside, like abroad, they really prefer MDes by research because a lot of universities abroad they have MDes by research programs already.
Yeah.
So they are going to prefer you if you have done MDes by research.
Yeah,
So that way.
I think more than even the program, the fact that you've been in the research paradigm for so long and you have maybe published papers that
You can finish your.
Yeah.
Your.
You have a thesis that would count for your admissions if you go outside later on.
Yeah, like papers published is like your portfolio for your PhD, right? So it will help you. And also the core courses like qualitative research methods, quantitative research methods are done with PhD people. Yeah, so the core courses are like two courses are same.
Yeah, totally. Thank you. How is MDes by research useful? I'm offended. I am actually very offended by this question. But I want to ask you, what is usefulness to you? What do you like? How do you define usefulness before you ask such questions? Like, no, honestly, like if your goal is to get into industry to work at big tech as a I don't know product designer, then this may or may not be useful to you. Then maybe you should go for the, the MDes by the normal coursework or practice program. But if you really want to get deep into design and research,
Negative.
yeah, right? Should I do it? Yeah, how is that negative? I'm an illustration student. Can my research lean more towards art than being too technical?
I am not sure what this question means.
Are there any top?
Yeah.
Is there any there is a topic?
Yeah, if there's any topic relevant to your area.
I mean, I don't know if this is helpful, but we have a PhD student who's working in VR. She also comes from like an animation background, and what she is doing is understanding art in VR, like how people perceive art if the medium is changed. So you can always bring in your backgrounds as trends, but I'm not sure. I don't think I understand this question.
Yeah, same.
There is this topic on medium design.
All I can say about it is that if you are leaning towards more towards art, I don't think there is any restriction per se, but you have to know your motivation for it. Like the person asked usefulness. So if you are going to more lean towards the research into art, there should be some sort of motivation, some sort of rationale for it. That why do you want to research if there is some impact implications of you doing this research. So as long as there is something like that, then there is not as such restriction about something being too technical or too into art.
Okay. If you have any further questions, we'll take them later. What are the essential elements for writing a strong research proposal and how can I ensure I'm presenting them effectively?
I guess I've already.
Yeah.
I have elaborated, but please read the methodology section of the attached literature.
Also, when you are, if you're asking about how you compile and write, so make sure in your proposal you mention what you have understood from what you have read about the subject, like the work that has been done, and you mention what are your plans, how you can take that research further from your experience, what you know, and how that can contribute to the research. Maybe keep it crisp, I think.
Yeah, and use like your understanding and sensitivity as well. Don't go again, we templatize mat karo. I know there's a lot of templates online. Do use them, to start off. But later on, add your own pizzazz to it. Wouldn't it be better to launch an app and track user interaction for your research? Okay. Apps. So I think everyone loves apps here, but I think you're talking about a particular study and collecting metrics. Is that so, or is this
I
something
guess
else?
it's just suggesting
To us,
Like,
we should do that.
I guess Ishika, na, because game है ना. User
So if you're talking,
That's a suggestion to us.
so I'll answer because we have something. So we have this like platform called IDC text for text input studies, which does collect metrics from our user studies. So let's say if you are applying for text input, you would need to know certain basic variables which you'll be collecting through these studies, like, okay, like characters per minute or characters per second, what's your error rate, etc. Like look into it later if you're interested. So if you want to collect those metrics, we have a platform like that made an IDC itself called IDC Text, obviously very explainable. So yeah, I mean, you can, if you're trying to collect metrics later and you think you need something of that sort, you can get that paid. We are in IIT Bombay here. There's so many people who will be able to help you make that.
Okay, I want to please touch upon this. Do not go behind, I want a product.
Please in your interviews do not say, I want to make an app on this.
Please.
I will not lead you.
Yes.
There's so many apps. What are you doing? You know, what's new and what's the novelty in your app? Right?
Also, like my research project, my research topic is emergent users, which illiterate or low literate people is what we have coined as emergent users. And what will I do by giving them an app when they can't even use a basic phone? So understand the purpose of app. If that is fitting to your research topic, then you can go about it. App is a
That should
product.
come, yeah,
If
that
you
should
can-
come later on.
Yeah,
Hmm.
if you can articulate why you need it, go for it.
Okay. Are there any D&D sessions frequently in tabletop games and board games? Ishika.
We're talking about Dungeons and Dragons sessions. There's a board game club, but I think they like Blood on the Clock Tower way more than Dungeons and Dragons. So there are weekly sessions for that. And if you are interested in having Dungeons and Dragons sessions, start a campaign when you come here and I'll join it, I guess. But
Okay.
I mean, if that's the question, because yeah, the D&D sessions start them, I guess. There's not a campaign happening right now.
I have a question. What is the evaluation criteria like per semester? Like, how does the coursework or the research work gets evaluated?
So
It's an ongoing process.
So it's, first of all, at least in SEM one, we have RPC, like you have your jury, design people have juries. We have RPCs, which
Research
has.
progress committee.
Yes.
Please refrain from using short forms. These people won't know yet.
And they have 3-4 members in the RPC who tell you, first, we have 2 meetings. In the first meeting, they guide you, they give feedback on your methods. In the final, they mark. So that is for SEM one. In SEM two, we again have 2 meetings with them. And in your thesis, you have final one presentation with them which they mark your point. And if they will decide if your research is good enough, you should be accommodated with the auditor. Plus, I guess publishing papers, at least in my research review, publishing papers is important for my grade. So it depends on
Guide to guide.
guide.
Yeah, but also don't feel pressured
No.
into publishing at all. Okay, like, yes, it's like expected if you're doing good work to put it out there because you're adding to a body of knowledge, right? But yeah, like, don't feel as
Yes, yeah, that's motivation. Na?
Yeah,
That
it's
is my
motivation. Yeah.
Work. every
Yeah,
day.
but I want to publish work that I've done. I've done so much work. It's such hard
It's
work,
like
right?
putting your project on.
In terms of like, if I get interested in it, so we know, okay, in our design project, you do something, you make something, you get evaluated from the outcome or whatever you have done. But
It's
when,
fair,
yeah, but when had a topic which will run, throughout 2 years. So,
So, okay, in that case, it's not going on for 2 years, right? Your first 2 semesters, you also have a lot of coursework. And the thesis has not started yet. Like you do a design research project, you have 2 in each semester. So that's how you get into it and that's how it's graded.
So it's basically smaller modules to
chunks.
get you started.
Then your thesis, that is not credited or graded. Then you only get approved or disapproved. That's it. That's it.
Are you ready to submit your research or not, that is.
Okay.
But also, if your question, you wanted to know how are the smaller research projects evaluated on what basis? So it depends on the rigor of your research, how thorough it is, how systematic it is, and then what is the external validity of your research. Like what has been done and what you are doing that can be applied, or in what sense will it help the body of education. So those are the parameters that will be evaluated.
So, a question to you also, so you're working around craft and everything. So, have you, like, apart from the academic research, like, have you gone out also, met clusters and everyone? So that is what you have to decide and you have to plan in your academic semesters, how you want to plan it, where you want to go and where you want to collect the data and everything. Is it clear?
Yes, it is. In fact, before coming here, I was very closely working with artisans and as like I understood nuances of that field, which also helped me in understanding what exactly I want to do research in. And even today, every single thing that I research upon is linked with my past experiences of what suppose if I'm creating a form with basket weaving, I know what can be done, what is impossible to do, and what are the challenges of it. Right? So myself as a researcher, being close and exposed to the field brings insights to work and propels me in the direction of research, which will be fruitful and which can be applied. If I design something without the knowledge of hand woven basketry craft at all, when I take it back to the community, it might not fit in as well.
That is true.
Okay, so we'll just go through these questions fast unless they require time. What drew you towards, okay, we have answered this already, I think, why we chose MDes by research and not regular, yes, yeah. The next question we have answered is, well, how much does having a project in your portfolio in the same domain as a research topic that I'm interested in help regarding selection?
I guess it does help to some extent. Obviously,
some
to
extent, yeah.
start conversations first of all,
Yeah,
because that shapes your how the interview is going, right? And what aspects. Basically, that's what you use your portfolio for. Like
exactly.
have projects that you want to talk about and lead the conversation with.
Yeah,
So that's
and it
what
will
it is.
show interest that, okay, you have dabbled with it.
Yeah.
However the project may be. But yeah, it would, I guess, help, but a lot of other factors are there as well. So this is not the major weighing
Yeah,
factor at all.
you can always show different skills from different projects. Like I had just a few experiments in VR which I showed you, okay, and I've tried something like this. From a research aspect, I showed a different project. Okay, this is from where my interest in research comes in. So
Yeah.
you can do something like that.
How much weightage is there for research proposal while applying, or is selection solely dependent on seed rank? It's not solely dependent on seed rank at
Definitely.
all, but we don't know the exact weightage for the research proposal exactly. But I think starting from your research proposal to the end of your interview, everything that you do, your research proposal, then you give your written test, then you have your interview and both the portfolio round and where you discuss your research proposal. All of it counts for it at the
And
end.
I think counts for it more than the rank.
Yeah, more than the rank. Your rank wouldn't matter much when you
Once
come
you
here.
come here, yeah.
Yeah, then all it will depend on what are you bringing to the table here.
I think especially for the research.
Yeah, especially for the
It's
research.
mentioned in the brochure.
There's a 0.7, I mean, 70%.
Some weightage is there.
Some weightage is there, but honestly, your seat rank is mainly used for you to get shortlisted for the interview and written
If
test.
you are able to impress the guide,
Yeah.
then your rank doesn't matter. If you're here and
Exactly.
like,
Then they are just gonna be like, okay, this is the person I can work with, this is the best fit, and
See, anything you have to give in your best. So please don't think about weightage.
yeah, if you get the chance to come here, even if you think your rank isn't that good, don't think about it. Give your best, try to impress your guide. Like not with genuineness, not falsifying it. They can tell, okay, they have been doing this, most of these professors have been doing this for 20 years now. they can tell when you're falsifying. So just be genuine, be excited. What are some relevant? Oh, yeah. In what ways do you leverage AI tools for research? Primarily, which tools? Is it encouraged by mentors? Encourage is a very
Okay,
strong
again, I
word.
think depends on the guide.
Yeah,
Like,
depends on the guide.
my guide, again, transparency is very important. If you're using any AI tool for something, be transparent about it.
Yeah.
And I think you can leverage AI tools a lot to
Yeah,
scope
And
out
also, what
papers.
type of, what part of research
Don't
also
ask
matters?
ChatGPT to write for you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you do it, then do it well, that it's not.
Yeah, so like the lit maps, etc., right? Where you
Yeah,
can look
yeah,
at papers connected to each other. Those are also AI
And
powered.
that even research habit for that matter is
Yeah.
AI.
Exactly. So you can use those, definitely use those to aid your process, but like no
How do you
acknowledge.
use them?
Yeah.
So while drafting my research proposal, what I did is I gave the brief to ChatGPT. It gave me an answer, and I read the answer and tried to do above and beyond that answer, go above and beyond his plan, and putting in that human touch. That is what I have done in my research proposal. कि ChatGPT was the base. इससे तो बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. Was the
ये तो मिल जाएगा ना
yeah,
Everyone can write this.
Get the same answer.
And also like you don't use ChatGPT to like as Soumya said कि अपना काम ही पूरा करवा दो. Use it as an assistant. What it is.
So you can, I think the best way that I find is to scope out research papers. Like if you have 100 papers,
Yeah.
understand what ones
It
would you
basically
need.
fast pace your.
Exactly.
Use it smartly.
Yeah. So, okay, next question. Is there a program for students to visit companies for research access and to collaborate on projects, depending on your guide? If there's a company you think is doing some sort of work in your similar domain and you want to approach them, ask your guide. They will make it happen, I'm very sure. I mean, they can make it happen. How long is the course? So,
Which
2
course?
years, MDes by research total. So,
1.5.
it is expected to be 2 years because from what I've heard, like courses like MS by research or MA by research in IIT Bombay itself, most people take 2 years only to complete their course. But if you're really a genius and amazing, you know about research, well, you can finish it in 1.5 years. And even if it takes you time to develop your thesis more, you think you need it to do better work, you can take up to 3 years. So there's this flexibility there regarding time. Is there any possibility for VR students to be considered for the MDes by research at IDC or a way to request an exception? We can't your students.
So I did try asking HSL, why is it that other students are not allowed? Just BDS, you do have to go through the brochure. I am not very familiar.
Yeah,
But
that
he
does
said
only
that-
BDes.
Okay.
Masters.
Yeah. So, the point being कि you will just do, like, at least in your first year, you will just have 50% of coursework, and in second, little to no coursework, right? A lot of research and design work, but it is self, like you and your guide. So your basics of research, design have to be clear. So that is the prerequisite.
Yeah.
Because of that, it is better.
I think Ishika also talked about this because when you come here, you have to learn academic research. So you don't have the time to learn about the design domain like entirely. So which is why I think this was made how it was made. We can't request an exception. I don't think neither can you.
You can.
Yeah. Neither can you.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, really. We understand this.
Okay, I think we can.
Yeah, I think that's
for
it with
how much time do we have left?
We have
Just-
10 more minutes for like final, I'll stop sharing the screen. First of all, thank you so much to all of you for putting up such interesting questions. I think now we can open up like just for general discussion. You can unmute yourself, maybe, turn on your cameras, we can see you and have a more like comfortable discussion for the last
Can
10
I ask
minutes.
about IDs and culture?
Yeah, anything IDC culture, anything that interests you.
Anything about electives?
You can all the electives for you. You can take any
Yeah, but we
elective
have
course.
one institute elective as well. So I think you can take courses from other departments like outside of IVC, which comes in.
You
third
can take
semester.
more also, I'm sure. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
wouldn't stop you if you can manage your research and take more courses.
So it doesn't depend, like, in terms of electro, if I want to able to sway from, the research.
Taking in the last, she
Yeah.
was in filmmaking.
Filmmaking,
No,
but
I think that is.
Definitely, you're an ITC, you want to do those things.
As long as you are able to manage your research, everything.
You can do as many co-curriculars as you want.
the participants who have joined online, if you want to ask any other questions or just, chat with us, we have like 10 more minutes before we end this meeting. So you can unmute yourself, turn on your cameras and like, we can chat.
I'm Shanti. Hi. To ask one question.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So I actually wanted to know how are the classes being conducted in this program. So is it like general classes or like how is the topic get conducted about the research and stuff?
So I think, okay, so the classes here are in modules. So when you select your particular classes, whenever like I think they're scheduled, like I think before you even start the semester. So whenever these classes are as modules are scheduled, you just have to attend them. And rest of the time you have for your research.
She was also asking something about how our research, is that like a class or is it individual, what she asked. So, no, your individual research is a very one-on-one thing that you
Yeah.
discuss with your guide and you do in your own time. There's no official class for that.
Yeah,
The only classes you will have, and like she said, are module based, the course, specific courses that you take. And that would be for like, example, 2 week long, 3 week long. That's all you're doing for those couple of weeks.
yeah, we don't interact in terms of like our research uh with each other much. I think that's more guide, like
Yeah.
you do it with your guide. Okay. Next, I think Tanushri Pillai, you had your hands raised.
Hello, hi. Yes, I think thank you for conducting this session. I think this is really insightful. And my question is, have you experienced sunk cost fallacy while conducting research, realized you've gone deep into something and it has not worked out? And how do you get out of that?
I think which is why you have two design research projects in your first and second semester, so that you get accustomed to it. So like with me and also Krishna here, we had actually changed our topics after we had come here and we had been selected. So I have taken, health and fitness adherences topic when I had applied earlier. But then later on, I realized my interest lies more in the domain of text input. Other than this, so after my first semester, I switched to text input. So this first year that you have gives you that freedom.
But
to
I'm
explore a
not
little.
very sure, is this the leverage was because we are the first batch? Or not? That can be our leverage.
Could be.
Yeah, that could be.
Sometimes it could be encouraged to do
Don't,
that.
yeah, it is
Yeah.
not encouraged.
It's not very
I'd say, yeah, I'd say don't be too dependent on the fact that maybe you will be able to switch your topics entirely, because we still don't know if that was just a liberty given to us at this point, because even they were also figuring out the course. But as far as research goes, that's why you have the two projects, and it's encouraged by our guides. Like that's what they told us for DRP1, like the first semester project, that it doesn't have to be groundbreaking research. It doesn't have to even have a lot of impact. Take it as an exercise of how to conduct research, how to do everything, how to learn how to do research, so that when you go into your second DRP and your thesis, you have tried and failed already. So it's no pressure on your thesis. It doesn't feel like you wasted a lot of your effort in that, because it doesn't even have to be connected. You did something in the first semester, did not work out, great, you learned. Now in the second semester, do something different. Maybe that will work out. Again, if it doesn't work out, fine. You still did two things, didn't work out, work on your thesis now. That was more of an exercise that gets you a taste of how to do research, and If you fail, it's fine. It's just a project, it's not your thesis.
The sun for science that so anyway happens, like anything you're doing, you will reach roadblocks and you'll be like, oh, I thought this is how it's gonna happen, and this, but you will realize you probably either like someone has done the exact same thing earlier, or if it's a quant study and you thought that there would be some differences in the things that you're coming out of, it might not lead to the results you're thinking of. It could be anything possible.
Yeah, and also a lot of HCI research is very qualitative in nature, in its nature. And my DRP one topic was very qualitative, and the rigor was the issue in my DRP one. So I'm not redoing, but with a different focus. I am doing using the same method for my DRP two, which is my semester two. And what is going wrong in qualitative research? I have some findings. So
Yeah,
it's not it's not an experiment in, yeah.
You get time to get accustomed to your topic and what lies ahead. So, by the end of your first year, you will have quite a bit of robust idea of how to proceed for the next year. I hope that answers your question, Abhishek.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll move on to Pratiksha then. Thank you so much. Pratiksha?
Yes, I wanted to ask that how is your overall experience? How do you guys feel being at the institute, and how is it for you guys now? It will be a year since you're there, so yeah.
It feels like it's such like less time, honestly, that I wish I had more time to engage with all my batchmates. Also, there's so many activities happening inside of IIT Bombay all the time.
General, I think, which we are usually not able to attend, and we always keep thinking that we want to. But even within IDC, a lot of things keep happening.
So much.
So in field of research, there at least my experience, we had India HCI, which was hosted by IDC. Then we had currently Typo Day, Animela. Both of these are going on simultaneously. Visual Discourse was also there, and there was Design Doctoral Consortium. In like a span of 8 months, we had so many conferences and events which we are
Within
attending.
IDC.
Yeah, it's within IDC itself. So like there's so much.
So much. You will just be blessed that I'm here and listening to so much of knowledge.
Yeah.
That's just
And if you're interested in co-curriculars, Soumya actually here performed in one of those, classical functions that we have here at IIT Bombay called Dharohar. She did an amazing job. Okay, she's a Kathak dancer and she just represented IDC so well. So you can go around participating in so many, both academic and
events
Yeah.
that keep happening here.
we have a trip happening.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have a trip that happens every year.
It's been fun, but I wish we had more time
A lot
together.
of things that keep happening. People have a lot of jamming sessions sometimes.
plus every month we have ACM Sikka chapter meets. Do attend.
There's these events that we host every month. You guys should think about joining us every month almost. Very fun
If
events.
you're someone who likes to party, people party. Very
Yeah. Yeah.
So like I think one highlight of just MDes by research is that you have extremely like you have liberty to just take any course, even if it's not related to your topic, it's not related to research. If that course is happening in IDC, just sign up for it. You don't want to take credits, like you don't want it on your like you don't want credit for it, just go and audit the class. Talk to the professor, he'll let you sit in on the class, have fun, just attend the lecture. It's something just interests you, it's not related to your topic, not related to your research. You have the time, go and sit in the class. It's if you just want to. And I don't there's no professor who will say that you're not allowed to. It's just open policy. Go attend any class that is interesting to you at any point. So that is one thing that is a very big highlight, not just for MDes by research, because you can actually sign up for, because you have a lot of time to take courses which might not be essential to your topic. But if you're not even signing up for it, being in IDC, as any student can participate in any class they want. Even if you haven't signed up for it, if it's not your subject, if it has nothing to do with what you're doing, just attend the class.
comment the segment?
Yeah, I mean, what I have experienced in so many instances throughout my journey till now is that you get amazing opportunities so easily just because you're part of the IDC ecosystem, and especially in terms of research. If you require any kind of tools or apparatus for your research or help for your research, it will be very easy because you are part of this ecosystem. So it brings a lot of opportunities which otherwise people really struggle, or they have to go through processes, or it takes a lot of time for them to experience. But since we are here, it is really fun. For example, we got a chance to be a part of doctoral consortium, which is for PhD people. We are not doing PhD, but as people in research, in MDes by research, we got to volunteer in it. So now we know what happens in a doctoral consortium.
And you get to talk to the people who are not even like this, who are actually coming from Helen, for example.
Yeah,
All of those like people who have done great work in the industry. So
the exposure is incredible.
Yeah, like just to put it in like my very not abstract, very so there was India HCR happening, and I was just in India HCR because I'm an IDC student. I could attend it. I got to talk to like from industry. I got to talk to IBM head designer, Paytm head designer, Myntra head designer. Just because I was like MDes by research student, I was attending the conference first of all, and yeah, that exposure is just given by me.
And this food.
And a lot of good food.
so much should have very good dinners.
Dinners,
Like
amazing dinners. I don't think I've ever eaten anywhere like that amount of food I've ever eaten outside. So
Networking opportunities are a lot.
that's true. But yeah, like we have another year to go. How fast time flies by, I guess.
Thank you guys so much. Yeah.
Thank you, Pratiksha, for asking.
I hope we'll see some of you in the coming semester joining as MDes by research people. That would be nice.
It would be quite lovely if you guys decide to join us. Any other questions? Please, we will. Okay. Monil, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. How have you guys worked on any experiments during your research? You mean, have you conducted studies? Yes, we have. We have conducted studies. I mean, you wanna, Tejal, you wanna take it up?
I mean, experiment based on what topic you're working in on.
Yeah.
What is the type of research you're doing?
Yeah, very experimental.
Yeah.
Her studies are very.
I have conducted a lot of experiments. So, for my topic, there is not much literature or work available. So, for every single hypothesis, I have to conduct experiments, and there are ways to conduct experiments which you learn in research methodologies. So, you learn all of it in first semester: how to do experiments, how to record data, how to process data. It's all taught.
Okay, so 2 to 5 more minutes and we'll be closing it. If any final questions, or we'll go to our concluding remarks.
I would like to throw a question to everyone. One takeaway from your 8 months in IDC. One thing that you felt that you should have done
Before coming
like means in this 8 months job not late to square.
There's not one thing, there's so.
No, but one which is like tough because of the
Probably. Like, there's something we keep talking about is time management, because, and I was also saying this at the convey, because self-driven, right? How you motivate. I always think at the start of a semester, okay, this semester, I'm gonna plan my research like this, and then there's no long nights that happen. And I wouldn't have to spend the last 3 days before my presentation.
The designer's time dilemma.
But that does not happen. So probably that, and like, yeah, just being able to then, in that case, you will utilize IDC resources better.
So true.
for the research club was something we started, and we did one. I'm dead. Way more. I think we can start it again.
Yeah, please. Tell me
We
that.
have more people.
I think one thing I would have really liked is reading more into what you guys are working on as well. Like it's okay what I am
That
doing.
research club would have.
Yeah, exactly. Like by myself as well to understand because you guys are trying to get such nice grip on the topic, right? And you would be the best person to go to ask questions if I have any doubts. And that is so accessible to me. But the fact that I'm not able to take advantage of that well is something maybe I can change. You are coming.
Uh, I really cherish the journey that I have taken in this 8 months, even the things that did not work out or did work out. So there is nothing that I think that I should have done because how would I have known the importance of it if I wouldn't have come to this point? So
What about you, Ishika?
I don't think I have something I think I should have done. I have more like I should do right now. It's and which includes not getting distracted every time I read something new. And again, the mind starts working in 100 different directions, and I stop focusing on the one tiny thing I'm trying to work on. So if somewhere there is a way to stop getting distracted by other papers, everything I read, like, oh, that sounds interesting. What if I did my research on that? No, that's not possible. And I think I just want to learn how to do that. I don't know if I could have done that before, if that's even possible now.
Okay, my question because I had it framed. First of all, applying for fellowships. Uh, funding your getting funding for your research is probably important if you are going to users, you're talking to users, you need to give them some amount of money. So funding is important, which I kind of missed in my first semester. So I'm trying in my next coming semesters, which I hope our junior batch does. Because MS by research, I've been talking to people from MS by research who are getting a lot of funding just because they are applying for it. So I hope to start that also in MS by research. And second is organizing all the literature that I've read. That's something that I have not done so much in myself. One, so I'm doing in my second.
Okay, then I don't think we have any other questions. So first of all, thank you all for truly taking the time out today. I know it's a Saturday, supposed to be having fun or taking a nap.
don't be.
But all of you decided to join today. I hope this was somewhat of an informative and fun session as well. We tried to answer as much as we can from our perspective. And okay. What? Okay. Can you guys mention what you're working on and any new insights you got recently that you did not know? Yes.
I mean, I'm sure we all have insights, they would be very topic.
Yeah.
Heavy, right?
Very
So
tough.
We didn't already
it
cover
would be a
that.
longer conversation. If I'm working in 6 VR narratives and navigation in that, the insights are very specific to that, so I'll have to go explain a lot of things in that way.
Yeah, so it would become very particular.
Yeah, and long.
You can email.
Yeah,
You
think
love
who
to
is
chat.
interested, is in the similar topic you're interested in?
Yes, I can do this. Like, I think whoever has registered or signed up, I can send like email IDs and LinkedIn IDs of all.
Our email IDs are there on IDs.
Yeah, actually, it's there on the IBC website. You'll see those. If you mail us there, we'll definitely check. And yeah, we can like it further talk about it later as well. Any other details you'd like to know. But thank you so much for joining. This was our IIT Bombay ACM SECCA event for this month. There's another one coming on accessibility conducted by TCS Research. So, and it's going to be a hands-on workshop. So I'm just like giving you guys a teaser. But thank you so much. And I hope we get to see some of you here in the coming batch. Thank you so much. Have a great day.